And welcome back to Manoa. Time now for the Hawaiian Financial FCU batting order. In the top three in the order, Sinini, McAllister, and Melo, the cleanup hitter. The local product out of Lele Hua, Ashley Salausa, followed by Tausinga and Gutierrez. Bottom third for the Wolfpack, McClendon, Berta, and Lou. Hawaii defensively in the outfield from left to right, Soma, Rossi, Gandia, Mack. At third, it's Ramos, the shortstop, Kaupe, Nakamura at second, Heen at first, and behind the plate, it's Kali'i Noi. And we'll see Izzy Dino in the circle. The sophomore out of Canada checks in with a 3-4 mark on the year. So Hawaii checking in at 8-9 on the year. Nevada at 6-10, though they're 2-0 here in this tournament. And there you see the numbers for Dino. 9 starts, 3.86 ERA, 22 strikeouts, 9 walks in 45 and a third innings. But opponents hitting over 300 this year against Dino, Lori.
Yeah, trying to settle in a little bit. Also, you have to remember Kali'i Noi behind the dish. They got a freshman catcher calling their own game. So we see this often at the beginnings of the seasons, especially with young catchers for this program. And I think it's more, as much of a battery thing as it is just a pitching thing. So both of them getting better. And this infield somewhat solidified. We talked about Nevi Kaupe, Maui High School grad, coming back from UW, from the University of Washington after a couple seasons.
There's a ground ball to second. Nakamura, the backhand, the throw to first will not be in time. So let's take a look at our umpiring crew. There's John Park behind the plate. You know John quite well. Over at first base, Charles Yarrow. And over at third, Paul Barrio. So those are our 3 umpires for this afternoon's contest. Hawaii and Nevada, they'll roll it an infield single for Sinini.
It's Maya Nakamura at second base, freshman from Roosevelt High School.
Sacrifice attempt, or bunt attempt. And a strike called.
That's kind of one of the other things that's been a little bit of the thorn in the side of this group is Dino not a great fielding pitcher. So a lot of stuff that's been hit up the middle like that, tough plays up the middle.
So Daria McAllister, the player at the plate, all Mountain West Conference selection a year ago. And she swings that time, hits it foul a year ago. Hit .361, played and started in every game with 6 home runs, 30 RBIs, and she led the team in stolen bases with 11. So she's a real deal at the plate.
Have a fair amount of lefties in this lineup, too, does Josh Taylor, the head coach for Nevada.
You're talking about Dino and her defensive abilities. Ball hit to second, could be 2. They go to second for 1. The relay to first, not in time. Wow. Looked pretty close from here. So 4-6, the force out of the lead runner for out number 1, and safe at first on a fielder's choice is McAllister. Lori, you call it.
These two good. Nakamura gets a 2-hopper. Kaupe came off that pretty nice. Looked like that was a missed call right there.
I would have to say I agree with you, Lori.
Tough one. I think most people thought that, even in, the umpires in the stands, as we all are. But it's a nice turn by that middle infield.
Sierra Mello, the batter, the second baseman. Well, at baseball, when there's televised baseball games, they have instant replay.
Yeah, they're doing that in some of the conferences. Some of the Big Ten, I believe, is starting to use technology a little bit. Of course, one of the big things this season in 2020 is they've changed the pitching rule.
Shot foul at the plate.
So college pitchers now allowed to start with their back foot off of the rubber, establish that spot, as opposed to having to touch it with both feet. And in high school, you could actually relocate that back foot, step back and forward. In college, you have to establish it. You can rock back on it, but you can't move it. But it can start off the pitching rubber. Dino's still on. These guys all grew up with 2 feet on. And so it's been sort of interesting banter around the country about that. But it should be a little bit of an advantage for the pitchers. A little bit more balanced position. Got some big feet out there,
There's a ball lined into right field. It's a base hit. On our way to third is McAllister to throw. Gets there late, and it's a single to right field for Mello. And runners at the corners with only 1 away.
Mello laces this to Gandia Mack in right field. Nice throw to third, but on her horse, McAllister, just that little lockout front foot, very patient piece of hitting.
Well, earlier today in the noon game Nevada played, they beat Seattle And so they have a little game experience on the day. This is the first game of 2 for Hawaii. A little bit later on, of course, Hawaii will take on Oregon State. So 2 aboard, 1 away. And Ashley Salausa out of Lelehua High School, the batter.
I watched Ashley quite a bit in high school, did a lot of her games, and she hit a couple bombs out of here in one outing, the state tournament. One was a grand slam. One was a solo shot. She had a double off the wall yesterday. Really, really fun kid to watch.
A couple of home runs on the year, 12 RBIs, hitting .304. Salausa.
Really excited. All her relatives out here to watch her play. She's played outfield most of her career, did at Lelehua as well.
First time her family's seen her play, period, in college.
Yeah.
That one fouled up and out of play. Well, you're talking about Izzy Dino, and we saw a year ago where she struggled defensively from the circle. And that hindered her at times. Hitchcock was so good defensively.
Yeah, you lose a Hitchcock and a Lopez.
Yeah.
You know, those are big. You know, Brittany Hitchcock here for basically 6 years and had 20 wins. Yeah.
Ball hit on the left side, backhanded by Kaupe. The long throw to first, unable to hold on to it is Heen, but the run at third stays there. So it'll probably be ruled an infield single, and the bases will be loaded with 1 away.
Well, that's a great job by Kaupe just to make a play out of that at first base. Cooling with a little bit of concern. Nice pick on the backhand side. Throws the one hop, and Callie Heen just can't quite pick it. A little bit of trouble here for Dino in the first.
Nelly Tausinga, the third baseman, now the batter. And she looks at the pitch a bit high and outside. Tausinga, a senior out of Sacramento.
Yeah, she can load it up pretty well. This middle of this 4-5 spot between Salausa and Tausinga, they can swing it.
Has 4 home runs on the year. That one is down for a strike from Dino. So a little bit of trouble here early in this one for Izzy Dino. Bases loaded, 1 away.
Sort of missed double play call coming into play here early too, Scotty.
I agree. A 1-1. Chop foul. Like the Hawaii unis, the retro unis.
Yeah, my favorites. They wore white last night as well and had some black pants on, so they've been rocking the whites this weekend. But these are great. There's just this, right? For anybody who's watched, watched sports for 30 years, that's one of your favorite unis is when the rainbow stripes come out.
Ball fouled off again. Just saw Josh Taylor in his 4th season at the helm of the Wolfpack of Nevada. And in the preseason poll, Nevada picked to finish 6th in the Mountain West Conference. Of course, these two were members of the WAC for a number of years.
Yeah.
And faced off.
Josh Taylor, baseball player at University of Nevada, Reno, so he's home.
1-2 pitch. Inside and low.
Outfield deep, a lot of room. The infield pulled in with 1 out.
And we do have to keep in mind the wind has been whipping here today. I mean, it's really strong, and it's blowing across the field from right to left. So if you get one up in the jet stream, forget about it. That one roped right over Bob Coolin at third base. Coolin, what is he now, 16 years old? I'm sorry, Taylor.
Yeah. You know, we were just talking about the coaching box. It's rare that you see people stand anywhere near that. Like, we'll see Laura Berg. Most of the coaches stand past the bag for just that reason. Josh Taylor almost got his hat taken off. Almost got his leg taken off right there.
I was going to say, Coolin moved pretty well for his age, but Taylor quite a bit younger, and he does move well. There's a ground ball to short. They come home for the force. No relay throw, but they get the lead runner, McAllister, at home. 6-2 for the second out. And over at first base on a fielder's choice is Tausinga. Good job by Kaupe at short.
Yeah, she's had a lot of action. Touched 3 balls here so far. Kind of nice. It's just real solidified in that shortstop area. You know, we've seen that kind of back and forth in this program for quite a few years. And Kaupe, I think, will stay there.
Lauren Gutierrez, the batter now. Looks at a pitch outside. Well, Cheeks Ramos, who's over at third base as a freshman, was the starting shortstop for Hawaii.
And played quite a bit there last. I mean, Cheeks can play anywhere. That's the beauty. But she has been playing a really good third base. Good connection on that left side of the infield.
1-0.
This may be the best infield, knock on wood, that we've seen actually in quite a few years. And I think Rachel Saborn will vie for that second base spot along with Nakamura. But Nakamura, a shortstop at Roosevelt, shortstop her whole life, making the move to second. Callie Heen at first. You know, I feel like it's a pretty solid group.
Well, they got off to a poor start.
Yeah, they did.
They had 11 errors in the first 3 games. Their fielding percentage coming into this one is .946, which is not very good. Ground ball up the middle. It's a base hit. It will score 1 run. The throw, did he get the tag? Did he do? So Mello scores, but thrown out at home is Salausa. So Nevada strikes first. Hawaii coming to bat. Well, UH Athletics reaches out to you online each week with updates and promotions through its H-Mail e-newsletter. To register, visit hawaiiathletics.com. Click on the H button. It's simple and it is free. Scott Robbs, Lori Santi with you on a pretty nice evening here in Manoa. 1-0 Hawaii leads. Top of the order for the Utes. Noskin, Castaneda, and Bonstrom to face the big right-hander out of Canada, the freshman Izzy Dino, and that ball hit over third, goes into foul territory. Noskin slides in safely at second base with her 3rd straight hit of the ball game.
Noskin came in here red hot. Talked to Amy Hogue about her, said she's pretty much the hottest hitter on the team. Not a big RBI hitter, but she sets the table nicely. You see just kicking off the line. So Noskin knows as a lefty, right? She's gonna get the double out of that as soon as it lands over Nicole Lopez's head. Huge inning right here, Scotty. This is the heart of the lineup for Utah.
So leadoff runner aboard here to begin the 6th inning. Brianna Castaneda, the third baseman. 0 for 1, laid down the sacrifice back in the first inning. Tries one right there, and they'll say it's a fair ball. Quickly getting it down to first is Cameron. So the sacrifice successful, 1-3, and that moves the tying runner over to third base with 1 away.
It's a nice play by Cameron, kind of a long throw. Cheeks Ramos getting used to that second base spot, moving over from shortstop this season, does a nice job covering.
All right, time now for the Hawaiian Financial FCU batting order. And for Utah, Noskin, Castaneda, and Bonstrom are the top 3. And Bonstrom, the shortstop. There you see Bonstrom. Barrera, the cleanup hitter, followed by Hertz and Dickman. Bomb 3, Falk, Palacios, and Gaspar. So 1 down, chop foul first base side. Bonstrom, terrific shortstop.
Bonstrom's sister Kayla is an all Pac-12 star at Stanford, so good genetic pool there. She was a good get for this program.
Out of Tucson. We've got 4 players from Arizona on this Utah roster. Pitch misses outside from Dino.
Amy Hogue, head coach, said lots from Cali, Arizona, and Utah pretty much as far as they need to go.
You look at their roster breakdown by state. They have 9 from California, 4 from Arizona. How many players from Utah? Guess, Lori.
2.
1.
I was close.
Pretty close.
They've been a little dinged up. They've kind of changed this lineup defensively. You mentioned, you know, they struggled there for a bit, and pitching sort of by committee. And interestingly, Ladner did a nice job holding down the fort here through pretty much the first 4 innings for them.
Dino needs a strikeout right here. She gets it.
That's a great pitch. This ball, the bottom drops out. Izzy Dino mastering the location of her drop ball and the speeds. Watch this against a lefty. That ball just drops down, a little bit of a change of speed. You can see it breaks away and down. Cameron, nice job behind the plate.
That's only the 2nd strikeout of the game for Izzy Dino.
That's what she's been doing though, Scotty, right? She's been getting some big outs.
There's a chopper towards the right side. Off the glove, unable to play it is Ramos, and in comes the tying run. You could tell that was taking a couple of extra hops on that infield dirt. Ramos unable to keep up with it. That'll be an error charge to the second baseman for Hawaii, and we're tied at 1.
See, just kind of hugged the ground early, then kicks up late to Ramos. Ramos pretty deep on this play, and the good wheels easily in. That's tough. You come off a big strikeout right there, feeling pretty good about it, and then you end up giving up a infield error.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter, I believe, and it's going to be Michaela Hurst. There's the head coach of Utah in her 11th season, Amy Hogue. Struggled a year ago. They were 20-30 and 2-21 in the Pac-12. So a pinch hitter here, Michaela Hurst, freshman, 5'10". She's out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Been pretty quiet tonight. These guys have been enjoying it. They came in late into the weekend and play 30 games outside of their home field to start their season.
Hurst will line that one right to Ramos, who squeezes it for out number 3. But the Utes get a run to tie it up as we head to the home half of the 6th. All right, let's check out the first Hawaiian Bank top 3, and it is Big West home runs. And 2 to 3 from the University of Hawaii. You can make that a 6 now for Callie Heen, so she's tied with her teammate Levi Kaupe with 6. And Hawaii showing their muscle here in this one. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Keep in mind, 8-run rule. And Hawaii has a chance of going to get 3 clean outs here in the 5th inning to have a run rule victory over Nevada. So it's 9-1 and 2 in the order. Liu, Sanini, and McAllister. Callie Heen now also ties Kate Robinson in 4th place in career home runs with 44. The great Kate Robinson.
The great Kelly Majum up there with 72. Jessica Iwata in our booth at number 2 with 55. So
it'll be a long time before anybody gets up to number 1, I think, with Kelly Majum. Had the 30 home run season her freshman year. There's a swing and a miss to Liu. Liu, 0 for 1, bounced back to Dino, who then rolled the ball over to first base to get the out.
Anyway.
Back in the second inning.
Yep. You see a fair amount of pitchers use that underhand delivery to make outs. It's not ideal, but it works.
Whatever works, right? You take what you can get. 9 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Hawaii. A run on 5 hits and an error for Nevada.
I also think it's kind of nice to have Callie Heen in that infield, kind of give you a leadership spot over there.
Ball hit into left field, now drop in front of Soma for a leadoff single. All right, let's take a look at the Kaiser Permanente K count for Hawaii's pitchers, and that's a pretty easy one. Goose egg, no strikeouts, but right now Izzy Dino doesn't really need to strike out anybody. She's given up 5 hits. 4 of those came in the first inning. She has walked a batter.
Yeah, she's been really good that way. Came into this with 22 strikeouts and just 9 base on balls, and following the footsteps of Brittany Hitchcock.
Zanini is the batter.
Hitchcock walks over her career.
Well, she
probably
had
the lowest of any ace I've seen in a long time.
She had that one year. I think she was leading the country at one time.
For a while.
Zanini, 1 for 2, had an infield single to start the ball game.
Yeah, Sanini, nice wheels in that leadoff spot back at the top of this lineup.
So 2 balls and no strikes. Next pitch catches the outside corner.
Much like Hawaii, not a big base stealing team. 8 of 10 coming in, efficient.
So after this one, we'll have the second game of the doubleheader. Hawaii taking on Oregon State. There's a high chopper over the circle. Kaupe's only played a first. Is not in time. Getting out the throw, Sanini. So
Sanini.
Infield single for her. Back-to-back singles to start the 5th inning for the Wolfpack.
Nothing Kaupe can do there. Sometimes, you know, your best play there is faking a throw and trying to backdoor to second base, honestly, because that such a high hop in that infield, those kind of wheels. You just can't touch them.
Now here's Sedaria McAllister, first team All Mountain West Conference a year ago. 0 for 2 in this one.
4 of these Nevada hits have been infield hits, Scott. Not a whole lot in the outfield.
McAllister with 2 aboard. Works away, misses. I think this is a situation where you're Bob Cooley. You want to see her put them away. You have an 8-run lead in the 5th inning. Go out there, throw strikes, let your defense play behind you. And that one is roped into left field. That's going to go over the head of Soma. Coming in is Liu. She will score. They'll hold up the runner at third. Sanini, and over at second base with an RBI double is McAllister. And it's now a 9-2 ball game.
Felt like Bree Soma was a little shallow on that play, Scott. McAllister pretty good power, a little bit better size than the first couple of hitters in this inning. So good power there. You play him in when you have a left-handed hitter. That's sort of the classic defensive alignment in left field. Soma was in, and McAllister made her pay.
Well, with that run, we know for sure we'll have a bottom of the 5th inning now. But I think more importantly for Bob Cooley and the Rainbow Wahine, he's trying to get out of this jam as you see activity in the Hawaii bullpen.
That's the freshman Jetta Nana, and he talked about how he loves the fact that she throws strikes. Exactly what you're talking about, and pretty fearless. I mean, she comes in and throws her on the plate.
Sierra Mello now the batter.
Really looking for that sort of number 3 or maybe somebody to push these guys a little bit. It may be Nana and Emily Klee, the lefty. I see her more of a complimentary sort of relief type pitcher because she looks so different than the rest of the staff.
Well, also Bob Cooley was saying that he's never had this many pitchers on his roster.
Yeah.
He's kind of set it up where you have starters, middle relievers, and closers. At least that was the idea going into the season. Hasn't really worked out that well.
And it's hard to evaluate when they don't get time in games, right?
Check swing, coming underhanded by Dino. The run will come in from third and score. So a ground out 1-3 by Mello, but scoring is Sonini. And it's now a 9-3 ball game. So give the RBI to Mello. Going over to third base was McAllister. Here's Salosa. Salosa, the left fielder. That's the straight ball.
Kind of slowing her swing down a little bit. I don't remember seeing her square to hit last night, but she can still come back and hit with power from that stance. She's trying to get some timing here.
That one up and out of play. So the Wolfpack now have more hits than Hawaii, 8-7. And Hawaii's hits have meant a little bit more in this one, up 9-3. So Ashley Salausa, the cleanup hitter out of Lele Hua, takes a big cut of that one and comes up empty, and that's the first strikeout of the game for Dino. A big one right there.
Yeah, you're exactly right, off a good hitter. These two both can get this out of the ballpark. You see, that's just a fantastic flip change. Kaliti Noi staying down on that pitch. That was nasty.
And Mele Tausinga, the third baseman, 0 for 2 tonight. And Dino looks like she has a little more giddy up on that fastball after that circle visit by her infielders.
Circle visit, and you feel a little something going on in the bullpen. You stands to speed your arm up, Scott.
No question.
Well, she's throwing very well in this game. A couple infield hits of speed. And then the ball hit over the left fielder's head and McAllister. So nice little rally here by the Wolfpack.
So it's a ball and 2 strikes now to Tausinga. Should she get aboard, Gutierrez on deck. 2 runs across here in the 5th inning for Nevada. But Hawaii still leads 9-3. Dino gets the sign from Kali'i Noi. A 1-2. This is inside.
So starting to come inside. We saw a lot of those flares in the past couple of innings, really working the outside part of the plate. Looks like Kali'i Noi's trying to bring Dino inside.
Deuce is wild. The pitch. Staying alive, Tausinga. It's been a long day for Nevada. They played in the noon game earlier today. Beat Seattle University.
Yeah, I don't think they're leaving till Monday. I think they're certainly enjoying being out here. Both teams, Oregon State as well. Pretty cold in Reno and Corvallis.
Yeah, a lot colder than here, that's for sure. Well, it feels a little chillier tonight.
It does.
By our standards.
I feel like it's been chilly.
It has been. I've had to get up in the morning and scrape the ice off the windshield a couple of times lately.
I wore socks to bed a couple times last month. You see the Oregon State Beavers and had the orange jerseys on earlier and switch over to the black.
So we'll try it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. The pitch. Line foul, almost took out the runner at third, McAllister.
He's got the umpire at third. Yeah, he looked alive. Into foul territory. Josh Taylor, he almost took one in the noggin as well.
Yeah, there were a trifecta of folks in foul territory.
Yes.
Pretty close to that one. The pitch. Popped foul. Gandia Mack can't get there in time. Good at bat so far by Tausinga. Just staying alive, keeping her at bat.
And fighting some good pitches off.
Yeah.
That was a good pitch, good break. Late action there by Dino on the outside part of the plate. Strong hands by Tausinga. Could foul that stuff off late.
And now the count goes full.
Easy Dino wanted that call. Little self-talk on the backside of the pitching circle.
I also think she was hoping Tausinga would chase.
Yeah.
Good discipline by the batter. You can see a split screen. Dino. The pitch into right field. Going back near the line is Gandia Mack to make the grab. The 2 runs come across from Nevada. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, it's 9-3 Hawaii. Caught dead at the plate.
Yeah, so it's a bad short hop at the bag at third, but Soika diving back, thought the play was dead. She'd have been safe if she popped up maybe and seen that and gotten off to the races a little earlier at home plate. Tough break there.
So we head to the top of the 7th inning tie. This is the last regularly scheduled inning. And Allie Dickman, the right fielder, 1 for 2 in the game. Dickman, one of the toughest players in all of college softball to strike out. She has struck out only 2 times in 49 at-bats this year. That's best in the Pac-12 Conference.
Just been red hot. So Hogue said kind of the pressure's off her a little bit, swinging much more freely this year. Kind of knew what she was capable of, just tended to press a little bit now, just having a field day at the dish.
Actually, after this game, Utah will go back home and they'll open up conference play this weekend.
Cal, yeah. But they love getting out, right? They've been in the field house all season long. Had about a half a day outside, according to Amy Hogue.
Over the short, fantastical low throw. Fielded nicely by Heen, 1 away.
Here's a funny story. Amy Hogue actually played in 2 World Series as a second baseman, and Galen Hoshide, who's from Hawaii, was her shortstop. So she comes over here and sees her all the time.
Let's take a look at the Jack fact, and it is UH freshman pitcher Izzy Dino has started 8 games this season. She has 5 complete games and 2 shutouts, including a no-hitter in her second start at the Division I level, and a 1-hitter against Niagara, that no-hitter against St. Mary's. So she's kind of lived up to the billing here in the rookie campaign for Bob Cool.
Absolutely, a lot of innings already. Not a lot of strikeouts, but great big out, pitches to contact, doesn't walk a lot of people. Good size.
The 1-0, the fault. Chop third base side. Does it stay fair? No. The home plate umpire, John Park, says no. The umpire's parked behind the plate. Over at third, Jed Sasaki. At first, Clyde Torigoy. We've seen all 3 of these guys numerous times.
Rotating on this diamond for 50 years, pretty much.
Probably.
It's a well experienced group, to say the least.
A 1-1, big cut and a miss. Well, Utah, they come in 10-13, winners of 5 of their last 6, as we mentioned, but they played a number of ranked teams. They played Kentucky, Oklahoma State, Ohio State, Tennessee. So it's not like they're playing a bunch of weather vane schools or directional institutions. They've gone against some of the best. Now, they haven't been that competitive with those teams. Hard hit ball off the glove of Fantastico on the hop, and then the throw gets away. Backing it up is Gandia Mack. So it looked like Fantastico let that ball play her a bit. She tried to backhand it and just bounced right off the glove.
So Fantastico starting this season, Ramos over at second base. She took a couple steps back. As she charges that, she catches it on the short hop.
We'll wait for an official ruling on whether it's a hit or an error, and it will be an E6. Second error committed by Hawaii in this one. With one away, the Utes have a runner aboard. Alyssa Palacios, the first baseman, takes a strike on the inside corner. Palacio has has grounded out twice. As you see the line in this one. And then tomorrow, the Bows start a new tournament. They don't get any rest. There's no rest for the weary, is there?
All day, every day.
There's a sacrifice attempt, fouled off at the plate. In fact, two of the teams that were in the Outrigger Invitational, the Spring Fling, will stay here for the Bank of Hawaii Wahine Classic. Niagara and SIUE, Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville, which has like 3 local girls on their team. And they actually beat Hawaii one time, and they also beat Utah.
First outing beat Hawaii. Hawaii just beat them, of course, last night.
Yeah.
But it is a huge week, and Alabama coming in.
0-2, thinking about it was Palacios, takes it outside. Yeah, Hawaii play Alabama Friday and Saturday, right?
Yeah, Friday scheduled for 6,
and a standalone game on Sunday, right? Or Saturday, excuse me. I believe Friday is part of the tournament.
Yeah, they've got 2 p.m. on Sunday. So yeah, it's great to play at home. Ton of games. You see what you got. Cool, and they're off to a best start since 2012 season. So they've got some nice pieces here, but it's sort of a matter of the grind and staying healthy. As you know, it's keeping those pitchers intact. Hitchcock and Dino getting the bulk of the work. I think that'll be what happens most of the season.
2-2, ground ball. Lopez goes to the short way for 1. No relay throw, but they do get the lead runner Falk. 5-4. All right, time now to go inside the numbers presented by Heineken. That is 1 undefeated team remaining in the softball poll in the entire Division I softball community. That's Alabama, who will be here this weekend. That's one team out of 295 Division I programs. Of course, Alabama, year in and year out, one of the tops in the country.
And of course, Hawaii owning the series record for that.
2-1?
2-1. Of course, beating them in the Super Regional, the biggest upset in softball that season. In fact, they were nominated for the ESPY's biggest upset award that season. They were the 16th seed. Hawaii went back to Tuscaloosa. And the Jenna Rodriguez walk-off home run sent them to the World Series.
Yep. Gasper looks at a pitch outside. That seems so long ago, though. 2010. But very memorable. And thanks to the internet now, you can just go on YouTube and watch that over and over and over again.
There are a couple good years after. 2012 wasn't too bad. 2013 with Kai Parnaby senior year. So starting to feel a little bit of that, a little bit more of a complimentary 1-2 punch in the pitching circle, but you gotta take a look at the numbers for Nicole Lopez and Callie Heed, and Lopez is hitting 455.
Well, I think you see the softball program, after being down the last couple of seasons, starting to trend back up. There's no question about that. 3-0 pitch catches the corner for a strike.
Yeah, and they've had a couple injuries in the pitching circle, and that's, while it's important in baseball, it's so crucial in softball, Scotty. It's that, So, been a little bit of a tough run. But Coolin working on towards 1,000 wins here. He's one of the winningest active coaches in Division I softball. I mean, that's pretty unbelievable. When you're getting 1,000 here, that's a lot of wins in any sport.
It means you've been around a while.
Yeah, it does. 28th season.
So the count has gone full, and the payoff pitch misses away, ball 4, and the 2 away now, 2 aboard for the Utes. Hawaii would like to try to shut down Utah right here. Only second walk issued by Dino this evening. Try to win it in the bottom of the 7th inning, but now you have to go to the top of the order. And Julia Noskin, who has not been retired, she is 3 for 3 with a double and a run scored. She was an all Pac-12 freshman selection a year ago, and she is a true table setter, and I think we may get a pinch runner for Utah, and while they try to figure things out, Bob Coolin is going to go in the circle and have a few words with Dino.
It's interesting, in talking to Amy Hogue, she said Noskin sort of has that laid-back affect, very steady for a young player, doesn't get too flustered. Her numbers really good, hitting at the top of this lineup for the last 2 seasons.
19 for 42.
Pullen doesn't trot out there a lot. Once in a while, you know, he's got a lot of trust in this freshman, but he'll talk to her in big out situations.
So we'll get a pinch runner out at second base. It'll be McKenna Calderon coming in to run for Alyssa Palacios. So Calderon, a freshman out of Palencia, California, will be the base runner.
See if Sato hugs that line in left field a little bit. That double just over the head of Nicole Lopez in the last at bat for Noskin. Sato's still getting used to that position out there, but against these running lefties, you got to hug that line and come in a little bit as a left fielder. A lot of flares out there in that spot.
Dino ready again. The pitch. And Hawaii will let it roll. Foul. Good play. Smart play by both Lopez and Cameron, recognizing the infield and the way the ball was bouncing that they didn't have to try to make a play. So Izzy Dino has gone the entire way in this one. 1-1. Comebacker to Dino Fields, and there'll be no play. Turns and looks back towards third. And as soon as that made a second hop, there's no way you're going to get Noskin. And that is her 4th hit of the game, her 3rd infield hit this
Honestly,
evening.
this is a mature play on the part of Izzy Dino. This is, if there's a part of her game that Dino will work on, it's fielding her position. But honestly, to come up and make that play overhand against that fast-moving Noskin down the line would have been tough.
Absolutely
So
agree with you, 100%.
yeah, you know, we've seen that a little bit. If there's a spot in her game she may need to work on, so she's going to rely on her ability to pitch here.
Pitch misses outside, nowhere to put Castaneda with the bags full over at third. You have Calderon, the pinch runner. You have Gasper at second and Noskin at first. Noskin has 4 of the team's 6 hits for the Utes. Castaneda has laid down a couple of sacrifices. Bounce ball out to short. Played nicely by Pantastico. Gets it to first in time, and the Utes come up empty here in the 7th. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. We're playing and a chance to win it.